Good morning. Yeah, I'm saying good morning because it's kind of only like around 2:20. All right, and I just woke up a little whiles ago, and I just started, just being bored and reading up more. I just can't get enough of our Bible. You know how it is. But anyways, I continued to read on in Leviticus. And, I thought maybe, the number 6 would give us something better, being that the 6 is the works, right? And so I kept on reading and just found more trouble. The idea that this is Leviticus 15, of course, that represents a 6, and that's how it works. And so it's all about this idea of being unclean. And being this uncleanliness is an issue, we find that the story, the way it goes, is if whoever touches this bed, or whoever lieth in this, and this is man. Remember, man lying with mankind. This is this idea that you're not supposed to do that, like with womankind. But it'll show up. This is where we get the gay text from, or the that it makes you unclean if you are a homosexual. All right, but that just really just means that you are you're taking the woman, the crazy woman, or religion over that which the female is inside of you. So since religion is actually birthed out of the right or the left carnal mind, it makes it a male conscious. And of course, male on male is where you get your homosexual thing. All right, but anyways, this is about being unclean. All right, it doesn't have anything to do with sex. All right, it goes on to talk about those people that are in here. It says the catchphrases here is, and be unclean until the even. This is what is constantly being spoke of. And in the first part of this, the first half is this: if you're this, if you do this, if you touch that, if you done this, you're going to wash yourself, you're going to wash your clothes, you're going to bathe yourself in water and be unclean until the even. So you're still going to be unclean until the end of your days. That's the even part, all right? Till the end of time, all right? And so then we can get some of these are on the other side, shall be clean. It says, and he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. All right, so one is rinsed in water, and one of them is running water, made with running water. It seems to be the difference in this. So and the man's speed of copulation go out from him. That means if he can't produce a child, then he will be unclean until the even. Do you see how it works? Because if you without a child, you spare the child, you spoil. Without the rod, you spoil the child. You're not going to make no children. So here's another problem, and it's a guy that has trouble making seed. Oh my God, and whoever touches it. Here's a woman with bad blood. She's going to be unclean forever. These are blood issues. That means she has something's troubling her spirit. That's the issue. And let's see. Yeah, so this is, and whosoever touches those that shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Wow. Well, this is what you're getting with the number 6. I thought we were going to find about the works. Yeah, we found out that you're going to be unclean until the even, until the 6. That's what even means. Even is the 6. The works. got to do your works first. How many times do we have to hear that? Huh? They got to drive that home. My goodness. Well, anyways, I just started reading that, put on this fancy shirt, thought I'd come on and say, look, they're still, they're still talking about clean and unclean. And remember, there's they're like sepulchers. Remember that word I can't say. This idea that their mouths, or their throat, their idea that this is a big open pit, and they make themselves out to be like, crypts, places where dead people hang out. And so, I mean, this is some pretty interesting symbolism, But dead is dead, And how many different ways do you have to hear that you are dead until you get your works done, And that you'll find that it has to be done this way. This is how it works, I heard it today that maybe the idea is this is salvation through sin. All right, that means that we have to sin. We born into sin. We have to overcome Mara. We have to overcome desire. We have to overcome. We have to go through this. We have to. There's no other way around it. And of course, there is only one way to get saved, and that's to do it yourself. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Remember, we're made from dust, and make some connection to God, some wonderful connection, and it's permanent. Once you do it. And I agree. The idea is everyone is in their own time, but we find that doesn't stop one from wanting to help someone else over this, to come to their grips. Jesus goes teaching people how to do the way. This is how we know that Jesus didn't exist, because his teachings would mean nothing. Do you understand? If they really had to die, and he really had to get beat up, and he really had to get tortured, that's representing the works. That's the time he's born until the time he's 33, and then he gets beat up. It's all through our lives that this happens. This is how we get our influence. But we're all born into sin. We are born into it. All right. Sin becomes a frequency. Sin becomes beta frequency. For you guys in the Mandela effect, that's the frequency that's been changing and being manipulated. Matter. That's it. But it can't screw around with our mind, which is the part of us that's electrical. It's a higher connection in there, regardless. And that's why we remember things. That's why I remember that. I remember that. I don't remember that. There's a witness. We witnessed this. We saw it. So there's nothing that can do worse for your brain is to become divided, even from within with yourself. All right. Like adding the 13th thing in our zodiac. That's just stupid. That number 13 doesn't necessarily work along with this science that's already perfect. So these are things that are made to divide you even amongst yourself. I'm not among your friends and stuff. That happens too, but it really is. I don't know myself anymore. I've been told that I'm a Taurus now and not an Aries. It just tears you apart, broken in pieces. Well, that dog don't hunt. That dog don't hunt, and you need to strengthen your borders. All right. And I think it's called increase in your borders. And It doesn't mean like, like the preachers do out here, and that means you'll become richer, and fatter, and have more airplanes, things like that. No, it's just to gain a little height in the world and get out of the shit, stuff like that. Anyways, I'll see you guys. Good morning, and time to go to bed. Check you soon.